Hello. Today we will briefly discuss a topic relevant to all of us, job creation in small business. To help me make my points quickly for the purposes of this presentation, I will be referring to an illustration entitled Activity Chain of a Small Business. The discussion today builds on work previously printed in this book in Chapter 17. Managing Human Resources for the Millennial Generation, edited by William Sauser and Ron Sims. As we find ourselves in 2013 at the tail end of the Great Recession that just doesn't seem to have gone away, we're operating in a world quite differently than the one of 2008 we've left behind. The banking industry as we knew it then is gone now. The traditional difficulties of small business ownership has gotten even harder. Yet, we still hear constant chatter among us how the small business person will rescue us with their innovations, sheer determination, and grit. To better understand these people and to see their environment, our figure illustrates the typical environment of a small business person at the moment in time of job creation. Notice at time 1, the owner is all alone. In time 2, there is an employee. Job creation has happened. Notice also that in the figure, the circles represent the many activities of the small business person, managing the many functions of the business. In our model, management consists of 5 stages: planning, organizing, staffing, budgeting, and controlling. And management is applied to 5 functions of the business: operations, usually the favorite of the owner; marketing, accounting, finance, and human resources. To add and multiply all the stages of management to all the functions of business creates so many activities that the circles appear to be back to back and overlapping on the owner in time 1. The number of activities that a small business owner must handle is almost unlimited. To manage all the functions of a business alone is a monumental task for anyone. That is why, if there are any growth goals, the owner will hire someone eventually, and that moment in time is job creation. And how that owner manages the transition from being solo owner to being boss, employer, and manager of someone else's time and talents will ultimately determine the long-term success of the business. Notice in the figure that the functioning of a business is akin to a marble works toy, where many pipes are put together in a variety of fashion. But regardless of design, gravity takes place and all marbles travel down. Similar could be said of the activities of the owner down to the new employee. Now look at time 2, when the owner has taken the giant leap and hired someone to ease the burden of doing it all alone. Delegation skills at this time are critical to success. If the transfer of task and responsibility from the owner to the new employee is random and undefined, as is most likely the case, success is unlikely. In time 2, it appears that the employee has been given a little bit of everything to do, and this may indicate that the employee received no clear instructions as to job expectations or goals and priorities of the company. Probably there was no job description, no skills testing, little background check, little skills training, and few standard operating procedures in place to help the employee. And that is because until that time of job creation, much of that was just in the head of the owner. In practice, job creation is very difficult and costly and unlikely to occur in millions of sole ownership situations. These facts support warnings against placing unrealistic expectations and false hopes on the shoulders of entrepreneurs. However, our figure is not offered to cast dispersions upon the small business owner, but rather to reveal and celebrate their abilities to succeed in spite of the potential time to outcomes described here. In summary, if the job creation were not difficult enough during good economic times, pile on the big picture of the current economic state, and you may wonder why and how job creation ever occurs. But interestingly enough, it does occur, and it will continue to occur in the future. That is, if businesses are nurtured by free markets and unencumbered by governments. We must remember that it is easy for me to draw a block on a piece of paper to represent the small business owner. But that block, in reality, represents real people, just like you, and you, and you, and you. Job creation is a lot harder to do than it is to talk about. Now, if you would like to learn more about more desirable outcomes for time 2, I recommend this book, of course. It is valuable from cover to cover, not just Chapter 17 on small business, co-authored by DePoffy and Fitch-hauser. Thank you for being here with me today and discussing job creation in small business.